What are the 5 biggest myths of social media marketing and how do they affect you as a creative? Stick around and let's find out. Hey there and welcome back to the Indie Author Studio. My name is Hannah and today I am debunking 5 myths that if you have fallen into these traps, they are probably slowing down your social media growth and sales. So let's dive in. And really quickly, guys, if you are struggling with social media marketing, if it is just not fun, if it is a struggle, if it just feels like a constant uphill battle, I have written a printable ebook that is designed to help make social media marketing more enjoyable and most of all, more sustainable. So check that out. First link in the description below. Myth number 1 about social media marketing: every post must have a call to action. Now, before you freak out, should every post have a call to action? Yes, but probably not the call to action that you're thinking. But first of all, what is a call to action and why do people say that you need it? Well, the call to action is what is telling the person who's seeing the reel or the post what to do next. Should they comment? Should they save the post? Should they share the reel? Etc., etc. Or maybe the call to action is more specific to your book, like read the first chapter for free or find it on Amazon, whatever it is. So generally every post or reel is going to have a call to action just naturally, and they are very important. But I want to make it clear that not every single post needs one, because sometimes your post is simply for encouragement or it's a space for you to share something that's on your heart. And those are very important to building your platform and your community on social media. And oftentimes those posts won't have a call to action, or there will be a very soft call to action. So a call to action is important, and in marketing it's vital. But I don't want you to get hung up on every single post needing a big, loud call to action. And this brings me right into myth number 2 of social media marketing, which is every post must convert to sales. And guys, posts that convert to sales are great and they are very important. But this mindset tends to lead to people marketing their books nonstop. Every single post, every single reel, putting their book out there constantly. And the problem with that is people tune it out, and they tune it out fast. They're tuning you out. They are seeing the same thing over and over again, and they're just not looking at it anymore. Even if they're liking the post or the reel, they're not really seeing it, they're not reading it, they're not watching it. So sometimes the purpose of a post or reel is not to convert to sales, but to convert to platform building, followers, engagement, which boosts the algorithm, and so on. And I feel like a lot of times we just don't talk about this type of post enough, because really these posts are just as important as direct marketing posts. They're building your platform. And especially if you are new to social media marketing, this is especially vital for you. You want posts and reels that build your platform by fostering engagement. And those posts or reels aren't necessarily going to be marketing your book. They might not even mention it, although I do recommend a bio that you have in every caption that talks about you and your books. But so the purpose of every post and reel is not always sales. Sometimes it's just community building, platform building. And it's important to have the space in your weekly schedule for both. And guys, like I said, some of my most successful content is content that was engineered to get comments or shares. And these pieces of content have built my platform. They've brought in new followers who are all potential readers. So don't underestimate the value of this kind of content. Myth number 3, you should post daily or even multiple times per day. And I know some people are going to totally disagree with this, and that's fine. If it works differently for you than it has for me, great. But what I have found is when you post daily, when you post multiple times a day, you are losing people so fast. They're tuning you out. They're not listening to what you have to say. They're not reading. They're not watching. So what I recommend is posting 3 to 5 times per week on separate days. And the sweet spot I think of as 4 days a week. But again, your experience might be different. That's okay. But this is just what has worked for me. You want to create a schedule that is sustainable for you, but also it's not going to overwhelm your followers, and they're not just going to be tuning you out because you're posting all the time. If coming up with new content to post is a challenge for you, I have created a resource that you definitely want to check out. It is a 30-day content planner for indie authors. This content planner will give you a week-by-week content plan schedule that you can adapt to your preferred schedule or take as is. Click the second link in the description to download that today. Myth number 4, and this one is very specific to writers and authors. There is a myth that says you should not post book or reading related content on your writer's platform. And while I do agree that your content should be predominantly writing related or work in progress related, or of course, platform building content, it is not true that you shouldn't share any reading related content. And the reason that reading related content is actually valuable for you is that it creates community and it helps to build your platform faster. Reason for this is if you have a post that is highlighting a number of books you've read recently and enjoyed, you're probably tagging the authors. So that's one way in which those posts get out there more. More people see them because the authors are going to come in, they're going to comment, they're going to thank you, they're probably going to share your post, as well as other readers are going to see that you liked a book that they liked, and it's going to create a shared camaraderie. So it's a platform building tool. And you don't want to do it all the time, but it is valuable, very valuable for occasional use. Myth number 5, guys, is probably my favorite one on this list. You've probably heard it said that Reels bring in new followers, while carousel posts or static posts just kind of build community with the existing followers that you have. This is a total myth. And yes, generally across the board, it's true. You reach more non-followers with Reels than you do with posts. However, there are certain styles of posts that you can use to your advantage to build your platform that reach non-followers. And I'm going to put up an example right here. This is a post that I did recently, and I've done several variations of this type of post. And this kind of post gets a lot of shares, guys. I mean, it gets a lot of shares and a lot of comments. And that is platform building. The more shares that it gets, the more non-followers it reaches. Those non-followers see it, they like it, they come in, and they reshare it, So it's a self-feeding cycle, and it really, really helps boost the platform. And I haven't tried this type of post in a reel format, and I don't really plan to because it's easy enough for me to repurpose this content in different styles of birth month posts, and I can just do them in posts, and they get shared, they get comments. So these have worked really, really well for me. And this is just one example of a style of post that really reaches non-followers just as much as a reel, maybe even more in some cases. So those are the top 5 myths of social media that I have personally debunked for myself in my personal experience. And I hope some of them are helpful to you. I would love for you guys to chime in the comments what myths that you have debunked in your social media experience, or if you are going to be implementing any of these going forward. So let me know, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video.